Anita, I am so excited to be here.
Thank you,
I
Nisha.
have been following your work, your designs. You are simply incredible. Your designs are timeless and transcend trendy. But I'd like to take it back to the beginning where it all started. You grew up in a traditional Sindhi family.
Yes.
Tell us what it was like becoming an entrepreneur. Was your family supportive of you going into entrepreneurism?
No, it wasn't. More than 30 years ago, I think in India, good girls from good families had a good education and then got married to the first eligible bachelor their parents could find for them. And we were three sisters, and I think that's exactly what my father had in mind for me, just a decent education. And then let's get her married off. And little did he know that his daughter did not want to do exactly that. And I went to study fashion design, and they opposed that too because they were like, what is the point of studying fashion design? And I said, well, I want to take it up as a career. And for them, a career for a daughter was unthinkable. Sons were expected to join the family business or to take up jobs. Daughters were just married off. So there was a lot of opposition. There was a lot of convincing from from me to them. And well, yeah, I mean, they had to agree.
And you were just 15 when you decided that this is
I
what
was
you
15
wanted.
when I wanted to study design. I eventually joined design school when I was 17. I
And even
graduated
that
at
was
about
hard
20.
to find,
That was
right?
also hard to find and hard for my parents to want me to put me through design school. They didn't see the need for me to go to design school.
Anita, the famous fact about you is that you started with 2 sewing machines. And I mean, to me, even if you just started with one, it showed your determination to make your dreams come true.
Yes. Well, as soon as I graduated from design school, I was just waiting to create all those designs that were swimming in my head. There was just this burning passion and desire. So I literally could not afford a place, and I sneaked in, in my bedroom balcony, 2 sewing machines and 1 Master G. And I think my mom was a big champion I started the business with my younger sister, and I think my mom was had supported me tremendously with all the opposition that came from Dad.
And Anita, tell us about your summer vacations in Jaipur. I think that was a big inspiration for you.
Grateful that I was born and brought up in Mumbai. My father moved to Mumbai from Jaipur just a few months before I was born. But I spent almost 3 months every year in Jaipur. And that kind of really shaped my upbringing in a very, completely different. It gave me a sense of culture, textile at a very young age. I lived with my grandparents. I used to be fascinated with Jaipur, right? And my mom remembers that even at the age of 13, 14, the other kids used to go to play, and I used to go to the local bazaars and get bangles made for myself, get my bandi created for myself.
And
So
I
think
heard that you would actually sit in the shop and give them advice on their designs.
Yes.
And Anita, when you graduated from college, you were the only one out of all the students who pursued fashion?
Yes, oh my God, you've really done amazing homework. Yeah, we were I think 35. It was a girls' college. We were about 35 or 40 of us who finally graduated. And that's the sad part. I mean, like 30 years ago, women even took college degrees, but they never worked after that. Everyone just got married.
And tell us about your first exhibition. What was that like, and what at the end of it, what were you feeling?
We had it for family and friends, and it was extremely well received. And I just think the same thrill of creating a design and seeing a woman wear it and then seeing what that garment does for her. Like just before you walked in, there was a bride upstairs who tried on a bridal lehenga. And just from the time she walked into the changing room and when she walked out of the changing room, that transformation that happens.
How did you decide to deviate from what was being dictated by the fashion industry at that time and create your own line that kind of focused on simplicity and everyday wear?
20 years ago, India was going through this huge change where a lot of now Indian women were taking up careers. So there was a big workforce of women entering into the workforce. And obviously the way the women were dressing had changed. Traditionally, we wore saris, we wore salwar kameezes, and as the women were traveling globally, they also wanted to start wearing clothes, what you term today as Western wear or global wear. Right. And there were no Indian brands that were producing what you term today as global clothing. And I started a line of clothing which was rejected by every store that I was working with.
That's what I was going to ask you
I know.
next.
And
How was it
That's what I
received?
say to so many young people out there, that there's always a learning in rejection. And the rejection so angered me because I knew that this would work and this is what the Indian woman wants, but they just wouldn't understand. That prompted me to literally fight for and go and open my own retail store. And I think that's the best thing that happened to me, because that's when I started realizing that it's so important that I sell directly to the consumer, and then we became a direct-to-consumer brand. So I started the brand, and then I started Global Desi, which was actually just that Rajasthani gypsy in me expressing herself with Indian prints. And then actually came Anita Dongre, the signature label, about 10 years ago. And then came the wedding wear about 8 years ago.
How do you enjoy doing the wedding wear? It's very different from your first label.
It's all design. At the end of the day, it needs the same amount of intellect or designing capability to design a ready-to-wear garment. And then when you do the wedding wear, actually, it's just pure luxury, because it's just so much fun you're having with it.
Right.
With great workmanship, with colors. I mean, I just love the whole process. And the joy when you dress a bride, because it's such a special moment.
The biggest moment of her life.
Yes.
And you didn't just stick to clothing, you also have a beautiful jewelry line. Tell us about that. And
that was just inevitable. When I started the bridal line and I did my first few shoots in Rajasthan, I was just so missing. For a bride, it's the whole look. Especially for an Indian bride, jewelry plays such an important role.
It completes the look.
It completes it. Jewelry is so important, and I've always loved Jarao jewelry from Jaipur. I've seen my mommies wear it.
And your jewelry is actually traditional, but it also can go on Western wear as well, right?
Pretty much. I think my entire clothing philosophy is that you should wear it, and you should wear it the way it suits your personality. So you can take a beautiful Indian lehenga and wear it with a shirt and a beautiful Jarao piece of jewelry, and you can wear that to a red carpet. You can take a beautiful piece of Jarao jewelry, wear it with a sari, wear it with a black dress. I like to offer women designs that she can dress it up, dress it down, wear it differently, find lots of more opportunity to wear it, because I always say buy little but buy the best. And that's exactly what today the world is moving over towards. It's more sustainable. You just buy the best quality and buy little, and you don't need to have too much. You should learn how to mix and match what you have in your wardrobe to just make it look new and fresh.
That's right. And speaking of sustainability, we have a lot to talk about that and all the wonderful work that you are doing to help empower women in villages. Anita, when I think of you, I just think of beautiful clothes. But you are doing some beautiful work to empower women in villages. Tell us what sustainable fashion is.
To me, sustainability has many facets. So for me, let's speak first about using sustainability to empower women, because to me, that's sustainability too.
Yes.
My relationship with the women in the villages started about 4.5 years ago. Seva, which is a very large NGO in India, it has almost 2 million women members. It's a cooperative. And Rima Ben and Ila Ben, who are just two amazing women who do this fascinating work, approached me because they said that the women have the craft. So in Gujarat, in Rajasthan, in many villages of India, and India, 80% of India lives in its villages. It's only 20% in the cities. And the women have these amazing crafts which are passed down from generation to generation. So typically a woman in Gujarat learns the craft from her mother, her grandmother. And what's very important to note is that craft she was only using for herself. She was embroidering a garment for her daughter, for herself. Today, Seva has taught her to use that skill and that craft to financially empower her, because it's the need of the hour to financially empower women everywhere in the world, I would say. Whether it's a woman in Gujarat, whether it's somebody in New York, it's the same everywhere. Women need to find their own voice, and it's only economic empowerment that is going to give them their own voice. So I basically work with their skills, and we use design to transform those skills into clothes that today's young woman can wear and enjoy wearing, to just create beautiful designs. So we have two programs in the foundation. One is where we work with skilled craftsmen and empower them by giving them sustained employment. And the other is where we actually train unskilled women. We skill them, and then we continuously provide them work. So it's two different models. So we just go in and see how we can help, because I just, I've seen the smile on women's faces when they're economically empowered, what it does to them. I have stories of when I go to villages where a woman says, just earning these these few thousand of rupees that I do in my spare time, and they all work in their spare time. They don't work full time. They just work in the few hours, between all their household chores. So she says that I have money to go buy bangles for myself. I don't have to ask my husband. I have money to educate my daughter, because the problem in India is if a family has less money, they will educate the son, but they will not educate the daughter. So she gets her own voice. The men start treating her with more respect. It's a total game changer what economic empowerment does to these women.
Absolutely. And I think it's basically sowing a seed.
Yes.
And it's about not just financial empowerment, but changing that mindset.
Changing her mindset. She wants her daughter's life to be better. She wants
Absolutely.
to educate her daughter. So it's a complete game changer. I just think that there's so much to be done and there's so little time.
Yeah.
That's all I think of.
Absolutely.
So much to be done. I'm impatient to bring about change.
From the Duchess of Cambridge to Hillary Clinton, Frida Pinto, Priyanka Chopra, Anita Dongre has dressed influencers in practically every arena. Anita, tell us how that works. Do they contact you directly and say, listen, can you make an outfit for this event?
Yeah, I think these are just amazing women, all
Yeah.
of them equally strong, all
Right.
of them just amazingly self-made women. And I think where you go, you attract your tribe.
Each of your brands has a different appeal. Yet, what is the common factor?
I think the common factor is that they're all very feminine, elegant, and comfortable, whatever it is.
Comfortable. That's
Yeah,
something.
comfort is very important. I mean, my bridal lehengas have pockets, and my brides love me for that. I get so many thank you notes on that.
They have pockets.
All my bridal lehengas have pockets. All, each and every one.
I feel like
and I
that's
cannot
something...
even begin to tell you the number of notes I get from brides saying,
Wow.
"Oh my God,
That's
that-
brilliant.
I
I wouldn't
yeah,
have
so
thought.
I take comfort that seriously.
Is there anyone you would love to dress who you haven't yet?
Oh, I don't know, really. I don't think like that. I really just get inspired by women I meet every day. I get inspired just by so many real women out there who are not famous. I think that's the kind of woman I really design
Right.
for. So in fact, in one of my brands, and we have this amazing property called And I Rise, where we highlight such women who are just not famous women, but I just think who are great role models for everyone around.
Oh, that's
So we have this
so
amazing property, And I
wonderful.
Rise. So for me, it's really everyday women out there.
And I've read that you believe strongly that fashion is a lot about emotion.
Absolutely. It's about emotion, because I meet so many women and men, and I love the men who I meet who say, I got married to her 12 years ago, and when I first met her for this date, she walked in this lovely yellow dress, and I'm like, you remember the dress she wore? You're an unusual man. So clothing can be so, it brings memories about.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Iconic designer Coco Chanel once said that beauty begins the moment you decide to be yourself.
I couldn't agree more. I've always admired her. In fact, on the flight, I saw a film on her again while flying in. And I couldn't agree more. And I say this to all my clients all the time. Please be yourself. Don't wear a brand head to toe. Give something of yourself to that. Wear it differently. Surprise me.
Is there a fashion trend that you simply cannot love?
Oh, many, many, many. So fashion trends that I cannot love, and I think they should be banned and finished and just done away with, like many states in many countries is banning fur, banning animal skin. I just feel so strongly about that.
What's your favorite outfit?
I'm actually, I love dresses. I wear lots of dresses most of the time. I just find them comfortable. Or a kurta, just an Indian kurta with a pant.
With
At
pants.
work, I'll usually be in a kurta and a pant. It's very, very comfortable. A pant with pockets and a kurta, and I'm done.
And you're done.
Yeah.
Simple, easy, but it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's just so
Practical
comfortable.
is also beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. I love kurtas and pants.
Anita, what excites you most about the work that you do?
Every time you just think of a new collection and you think of the whole idea and it starts taking shape in your mind and you start thinking of it, you start dreaming of it, and then going into work every day and working with an amazing team that I have of mainly women and getting them all excited, and then we all begin work on the collection, and then pieces are going to some village there, and this is going there, and that's going there. It's like literally like it's a production, you know, and there are like 200, 300, 400 people involved in that production, and just bringing that all together, and when it starts taking shape, and then you finally put that out on the ramp, or you put that out on a shoot campaign. I mean, that whole process excites me.
It's an exciting industry.
I know. And then every time I finish a collection, you know, I always think to myself, oh my God, how am I ever going to do another one? This is it. I'm done. I'm finished. I'm going to retire. My younger sister knows this. You know, every time I finish a collection, I'll call her and say, Meena, now this is it. After this, I can't think of anything else. I think I'm going to that's it. I'm going to call it a day. I'm retiring. And she'll just laugh and she won't say anything to me. In 48 hours, I'm back
You're
again.
back.
You know what? I have this new idea. Let's do this. She just waits for me to go through that.
Anita, our show, Keys to Kismat, is all about seizing your destiny. How do you follow this, and how do you believe in it? And do you have any words of advice for anyone who dreams of being in your position?
I just think if you're passionate about what you do and you follow that up with hard work and discipline, the universe conspires to give you what you want. They do.
Where do you see yourself 10 years from now?
Just doing exactly this, but doing it better and having more and empowering more people. Just doing exactly this.
Well,
I wouldn't change that for anything else in the world.
We were certainly empowered and inspired today.
Thank you.
In fact, we had some young students here today on set, and they were saying that they feel so empowered just by listening to you. So you're very motivational, and we hope to follow some of your advice.
I think all of us, all over the world, every woman just needs, now is a time to voice herself and to live her life on her own terms.
Absolutely. Thank you so much,
Thank
Anita.
you.